Hey guys, it's Jonathan from Bro JMR Productions, and we're back to talk about some more TV. Today I'm going to be looking at animated shows that we have the entire series of. So complete series animated shows is what we're going to be talking about today. And before we even get started, I will say that there are two that I'm going to be leaving out that we actually have the complete series of, and that is because I'm going to be talking about them in the next video that I do. So we're going to get back to two. So there are going to be two more, but like I said, we'll discuss them later. And let's just start at the beginning. Back to the Future, the animated series. Now we got this when we got the Back to the Future Anniversary Edition release. It was with it, and me and Michael have watched some of it. We've watched probably 7, 8 episodes of it so far, and it is, well, it's odd. Let's just put it that way. It is very, very odd and very weird. But it's not bad. It's funny. There's some good stuff in it. It does give you some history, some actual real history lessons. So there's that. Christopher Lloyd still, well, actually a lot of them. Mary Steenburgen does the voice of Claire in it. Thomas F. Wilson does the voice in it. Christopher Lloyd and Michael J. Fox are not in it doing voices, but it's not too bad. If you're a fan of the Back to the Future, I recommend checking it out. Now we're going to get into some nostalgia stuff. Beavis and Butthead. All 4 volumes of it. I think that it was on for 5 years total. Well, I think it was on for 4 years in total here in the first 3 volumes. And we also have volume 4, which is when they brought it back in 2011, which some of this was pretty good actually to bring back. But Beavis and Butthead is great. We've watched a decent amount of it. And, you know, surprisingly, it actually still holds up. There's such a heavy 90s feel to it that it's hard to get past it. But if it's something that you grew up with, it's still highly enjoyable. It's still going to make you laugh. It's fun to reminisce on some of the pop culture references in it, and especially the music videos. And it's just good. It's just all around good stuff. Chippendales Rescue Rangers. Now we're going to be talking about 3 different series here, and they're all together. As soon as I mention Chippendale, you're probably going to know what the other ones are. Yes, we're going to discuss them. Chippendales was an interesting one, and it was probably my 3rd favorite out of the main 4. And if you're a child of 90s, if you're a child in the 90s at all, you know exactly which 4 I'm talking about. I don't know, this one was fun, but at the same time it wasn't one that it probably wasn't the one that I most looked forward to, but it was a very good show, and there was a lot of stuff in it that as an adult I'm realizing now. Most specifically, and I don't know how many people really know this, but really take a good look at the way they're dressed, at the way these 2 chipmunks are dressed. Do you see any resemblance? Chip is obviously supposed to be Indiana Jones with the leather jacket and the fedora. Dale, or actually no, I think I have those mixed up. Sorry, this one's Chip. Dale is supposed to be Indiana Jones there, obviously. Dale with the Hawaiian shirt and occasionally the baseball cap. is Magnum PI. But Chippendale, fantastic. And we do have both volumes of that. Daria. Sorry, I had to look at something real quick. We're going to need to try to wrap this up. Daria, the complete animated series. This one's fantastic. I've watched through most of this since we've gotten it, and it still holds up great. I mean, it really, really holds up better than you would think. It's still incredibly relevant, and this was such a perfect show for the 90s, because 90s was such a time of angst and teenage rebellion. And God, this was just so perfect. It was so well written, and it's a classic. DuckTales, one of the best cartoons ever made. All 3 volumes. We've watched some of this, and it still holds up great. It's hilarious. It's a well-written show. It's one of the best in the sense of pure animation. It's so fantastic. This is just a show that held up better than probably any other show in the 90s, in my opinion. And my personal favorite, Darkwing Duck, because it's everything that was great about DuckTales, but throw in superheroes and mysteries and gadgets. It's so great. I mean, he's basically Batman. So, how can you go wrong with basically a Batman animated series, but that stars a duck? And of course I'm going to like that, because if you know me at all, then you know that I love ducks. But that's all we have complete. And yes, I realize that I'm missing one out of the main 4 there. We don't have that complete. I will be talking about it eventually. And like I said, I left out 2. You're going to find out what those are in the next video. And so that's all we got. That's our animated nostalgic. Notice that most of these are from the 80s and 90s. That's because that was the time for cartoons. But stay tuned for the next video, and you'll see a couple more animated things and 1 or 2 older stuff. Next thing we're going to talk about is box sets. So stay tuned for that. Bye.